Okay, those of you just coming in, please silence your cell phones and all the other things that I always say. Jay, give us an overview, please.
Yeah, great college baseball game. Two best teams in the country. A ton of execution by both teams from the mound. Great defensive plays. Really good quality at bats. Ty was outstanding tonight. Really hard to put into words what that performance meant, for the outcome of the game and for our team. I think the eighth inning was the turning point, getting through the eighth, sending him back out there against their best hitters and striking out the side was amazing. Riley obviously did what Riley's done here and executed at a high level. Really proud of him for getting through that first and second one out. I believe it was in the 10th with Langford and Caglione. And then offensively, I think we did a lot of things right. I mean, getting Sproat out before the fifth inning was a good job by our team. He's going to be a high draft pick, and we executed really well there. Hit into tough luck with the bases loaded there with Tommy lining to third base. Thought that was a good at bat. Sproat did a nice job wiggling out of it where we might have been able to add some on early. But we just stayed with it, and Tommy and Cade getting those swings were outstanding. So, on to tomorrow.
Okay, let's open it up for questions for the student athletes. I saw Koki first.
Cade, I was talking to Trey after the game, and he said the first time I met you was after a high school football game. Do you remember that interaction at all, and what's your relationship sort of like with Trey?
First and foremost, he's one of my best friends, and, someone, even though he's younger than me, I admire him. I kind of look up to him, just, the way he goes about his business. He's so strong mentally. He's going to play professional baseball for so long, and he's one of the best first basemen I've ever seen, and maybe college baseball has ever seen. But I do remember that about football. We mess with him all the time that we used to pick on 1-9. By high school, didn't throw the ball often, but Trey was a cornerback, and we would go after him every time.
That's nice. Leah?
Leah Van, Baton Rouge Advocate. Cade, can you just take us through that last at-bat and what you were seeing at the plate?
Yeah, you got to give credit to Brandon Neely first. He's unbelievable, and he's one of the best pitchers in the country, and he has a great fastball. My prior at bat, he struck me out on 3 straight heaters, so I figured he was going to go back to that. It was not pretty, and then the first pitch blew by me again, so I knew he was coming back with it. They weren't going to switch anything up, and finally got one that I was supposed to swing at and put a good swing on it.
Okay, right over here.
Matt Tallery from World Baseball Network. Tying the NCAA College World Series strikeout record with 17 strikeouts tonight. What's it like to just have a guy like Alex Milazzo be such a good catcher behind the dish for the course of the season?
Yeah, Alex has been great for us all year. I know this is actually the first time Alex caught me in a couple weeks and stuff, but he came up and like he's caught me all year and stuff. He was able to steal me some pitches tonight, able to block some balls out when I needed it and stuff. But also I know that other teams are threatened by his arm, so I know that runners don't run as much on him.
Okay, Michael first.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge, staying with Ty. Just what was working tonight? Looked like the fastball had a lot of rise on it. You kept going to it. What did you feel out there? Kind of short rest for you, but obviously your best performance.
Yeah, I felt good. I felt with as many people as were here tonight, the adrenaline felt good and stuff. But I just knew that throwing my fastball at the top of the zone and being able to mix in off-speed pitches enough to be able to get them off was the biggest key for the night.
Wilson?
Ty, kind of sticking with that theme, in your last start you were rolling up until the 6th inning. Was there anything that you changed between starts in order to then be able to do what you did, kind of keep it going deeper into a game?
I don't think so. I think it was just staying mentally strong about it, just knowing that my stuff's going to play, and just having confidence in myself and knowing what I do well.
Okay, Matt.
Matty Marinas, White Miller Review. Ty, how did you shake off the go-ahead home run by BT and just get right back to mowing them down?
I just know that my stuff was going to play. I know that he put a really good swing on a good fastball and stuff, so you got to tip your cap. But I knew that I got a great offense behind me that's going to back me up and get the game, back on the game.
I'm going to go with Glenn right here and then Michael.
Yeah, Glenn Westco, 247. Cade, I mean, you guys offensively were, getting on base and having a lot of opportunities. It just didn't kind of capitalize there in the first part of the game. Just how do you guys stay, I guess, mentally in there when you know that you're having success, but just not seeing it in terms of the run scored and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, baseball's a tough game, and when runners get on, that's when pitchers tend to make their best pitches, and that's when they rise to the occasion, and make good pitches and stuff like that. But I mean, in terms of not getting the job done, no one's freaking out about it. And, we just got to keep playing the game and keep putting ourselves in those opportunities, and you just know eventually we're going to come through and provide our pitchers with run support. But yeah, like I said, baseball's hard, and with bases loaded earlier in the game, Tommy hit one like 110 right at the guy. That's 2 runs right there. So I mean, it could go either way.
Michael Farrar with Berg Sports Network. Question for Riley and Ty. It just seems like you guys have so much fun. The team chemistry is, up the roof. Can you just kind of talk about the momentum you guys are having and how much fun you guys are having playing together?
Riley?
The chemistry's crazy. Just so fun to be around the guys, and what better place to be. And so we're just having a blast doing it.
Yeah, I mean, our team chemistry has been amazing all year and stuff. Us pitchers are all really, really close and stuff, and we support each other so much to each other, and we have so much success. We're very happy for them when they have a lot of success.
Matt
Tallery, World Baseball Network. Riley, what's it like to have a guy like Josh Pearson step up in a big moment with that catch in the 10th inning?
I mean, that's sweet. That's what I'm talking about with just filling up the strike zone and trusting my defense. And I completely trust him, and he saved me out there. And, I was just continuing to fill up the strike zone.
Leah?
This question's for Riley, and then I have another one for Ty. Riley, just want to know, what was your reaction to watching Ty strike out guy after guy, inning after inning? And Ty, you haven't been a guy who shows a lot of emotion on the mound, and I felt like that last strikeout you showed some. So what was going through your mind in that moment?
It was pretty. I mean, it's awesome to see. I love Ty, and he works really hard, and just to see him do that was amazing, especially here in that game, and especially the emotion fired me up too.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been known for my emotions and stuff, but I feel like when I show my most emotion is when I'm done, when I know I'm done. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I was able to get a little fired up. And plus, I knew the game was tight. I knew that we had to still win the game.
Okay, right here, Wilson first.
Cade, if I understand correctly, you did not watch the last out. You were back in the batting cage. Why could you not? Why were you back there, I guess?
I was just, one, I had to use the restroom. And then, we got out, and I was just like, I'm going to stay back here, and was just like, when you have no control over something, you want something to happen so bad, so you tend to get a little nervous. Not to say I don't trust Riley because he's the man and he does his deal, but I was a little nervous just because, anything could happen in baseball, and I had to pee.
Thanks for asking. Michael, right here, and then we'll go to Jack.
I know the answer to this, but could I get all 3 players to just talk about playing for a national title tomorrow? Obviously, I know you're going to talk about the approach and staying within it, but how do you do that given what's on the line?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make it anything bigger than it is. It's another baseball game, and we always take the one game at a time, one pitch at a time approach, and that works best for us. So we're going to take the same exact approach, and we know what's at line or what's on the line. You don't need to say it, or it doesn't need to be broadcasted. And the same thing when we were fighting for our season. No one, you didn't hear this guy come in and be like, all right, we got to win or we're going home. That's not the case. We just want to play baseball. We got to play a good game tomorrow. So that's all we're focused on.
Yeah, it's hard. It's cool to think about and stuff, but when it comes down to it, it's still just baseball, and still going to do the same thing we were doing the whole year because it's been working for us, and stick to the approach. But yeah, it's fun to think about. I'm just chilling in my room.
Ty?
I mean, it's something we talked about since the fall. I mean, it's what we wanted to accomplish as a team and stuff, but we know that we still have to take every game at a time. And it was as great as tonight felt and stuff, but we still know we need to get one more done.
Okay, this will be our last question for the players.
Cade, Jack DeLongchamp here with Foul Pole. Cade, I got to ask you, man, you battled back from injury. Obviously, you're the heartbeat of this team, a fifth-year guy that's been in Baton Rouge for half a decade now. To kind of be able to ingrain your guys, right? The culture of what it means to be an LSU Tiger, friends and family, obviously, here tonight. You got to walk me through what it means to have that moment with your family tonight.
Gosh, man, I've been here for 5 years. No, I mean, I just love this university so much, and love this, especially this team. There's so many good guys and good people on this team, and some of my best friends. I'm going to talk to them for the rest of my life, and I just love playing baseball with them. I think it's as simple as that. And you ask every guy on the team, and they'll give you the same answer. It's nothing more than that. But yeah, this university is special. I grew up in New Orleans. Wanting to be Mikey Matuk, Ryan Sheff, Jared Mitchell, watching highlights of the 2009 National Championship on repeat on YouTube when I was a kid. And, this means the world. One, just being in Omaha, and two, playing for a national championship.
Okay, thank you. Guys, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you all.
Okay, questions? And we'll start with Michael here.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. Jay, going with Ty, you've talked all year about he's a winner, et cetera, but obviously the resiliency that he has to limit it, you talked about that as well. Just his performance tonight, what does it mean to you to see it?
Yeah, it's coaching, and what I mean by that is, we need to have a reason to be there. And when you have a guy that's as talented as that, sometimes you just have to get them to the point they understand what they need to do to be successful, give them a path to execute that, and then get them believing in themselves. And that's really all we've tried to do, over 2 years. And, I mentioned he finished the season really strong last year. He was very unselfish at the beginning of this thing. The first 2 weeks of the season, we needed him in the bullpen until we kind of figured out who we were going to be. He did that, helped us get off to a good start there. And, like I said, he's had a terrific season, and nothing better than that tonight. But we're not sitting here in this position without Ty Floyd. I feel like he's one of the most underrated, underappreciated, players in college baseball this year.
Okay, he beat you too, Wilson.
You said there was a specific turning point for you in the 8th inning to send him back out there. What went into that decision?
We had a spot where we thought we would go to Riley, and it was kind of, we had Guidry down there warming up. I felt like we may get into a lengthy game just with, Neely throwing the ball as well as he was. Those were the two guys we were going to use and go to. And so it was a little bit of a tricky spot. So for him to get 2 more hitters was a big deal. And then there was no way with the way he pitched to Curlin and Langford, like it was Caglione was going to be his, and he deserved to finish that inning. And I'm really glad he did. Made some great pitches, and then allowed us to turn the ball over to Riley. I think, striking out the side with those 3 hitters right there, that's legit. That's pitching at the highest level, especially when he'd emptied the tank to put us in the position he did for the first 7 innings.
Leah.
Second game here, you've won in extra innings. I just wonder what goes into building that resiliency offensively, especially when things weren't seemingly going y'all's way at the beginning of the night.
Yeah, I think I don't think we look at the game the same way people on the outside of the fence look at the game. I think we're facing a team that's won 53 games this year. We're facing a pitcher, and that's all we've faced here with our bracket. It's got to be one of the best pitching brackets in College World Series history. Like, we just don't get discouraged. We set the table in I believe it was the 2nd or the 3rd, and Tommy hits the line drive, and then Sproat, made some pitches. I think that was more him than us. I didn't think anybody thought anything of leaving guys on base or any of those types of things. And we got good hitters, and part of what good hitters do is they hit mistakes. And Tommy was in a 2-strike count right there. Fisher left the ball up, and he put a great swing on it. Neely, I don't even know if it was that bad a pitch. I haven't seen Cade's home run, but he was in position to hit on time. He stayed short. He let the pitcher supply the power and put a great swing on it. So I think we're doing what we do. And, in that last inning before he hit the home run, we wanted to get kind of settled back down again. And, if somebody's going to hit a big home run in extra innings, maybe I'll just have the offensive meeting a little sooner, because I like that.
Okay. Matt.
Yeah, Jay, you come into these games after we just been mesmerized by Skeens and Louder, and it feels like Ty has kind of like just flown by. But this is 2 performances now against really, really top-notch offenses where he's looked basically like this the entire time.
Yeah, he's there, and he's. I think it's probably just because of Paul. You know what I mean, and Paul being so out of this world good. Nobody's really paid attention to him, but the pro people are. Like, he's not going to last very long on that draft board, and somebody will be very, very happy with Ty Floyd, and I think he'll pitch for a very long time. And like I mentioned with a couple other of the pitchers in the game on Thursday night, there's a chance for it to be a short arc from Omaha to, a big league stadium for him.
Glenn.
Coach Glenn Wesco, 247. Have you ever seen a story that's kind of quite like Cade's? I mean, just in terms of being from the New Orleans area and here for 5 years, and to be just coming up in these big clutch moments. Just, I guess, talk about just that perspective a little bit. Yeah,
I'm really proud of him. I think I mentioned this earlier, and he's had a great tournament, and so we've talked about him a lot. That he didn't have a very good 2021 season, and we needed to shift some things, but my first impressions were him where he was all about the team. All he wanted to do was be a great player for LSU. He's never mentioned pro baseball one time. It's just, what can I do to help, whether that's leadership, fix my swing, improve my approach, maybe be able to play some first base. And then he wasn't playing at the beginning of the season because Tommy hurt his shoulder, and so we had to shift the DH position around. And I just kind of had a feeling we would get to our best team. He would be a part of that, and then that was really, really clear. And he never wavered, in any of that. And I tell people all the time, like, him going down last year, that hurt our team dramatically. And I think if you're paying attention to the College World Series, you can clearly see why.
Okay, Michael.
Obviously, we talked about Cade, but Gavin as well. Just the veteran presence on this team and its ability to see the moment and then stay in it.
Yeah, I think, you have to have 2 things you have to have a little more than 2 things, but you have to have 2 things to get here and to win here. You have to have future Major League players. That's clear now. Like, nobody is getting here anymore without future Major League players. And you have to have old players that really know what they're doing. And those 2 guys really know what they're doing. And, the buy-in piece of it, to just a new deal. I mean, they've made this, for me as a new coach. Like, those 2 guys have made this situation, program, culture. They're as important as anybody. They don't get talked about the same way, because you got Dylan, you got Paul, and those guys should be talked about too because they're leaders and they're special talents. But when it was 2-0. It's like, okay, yeah, we know who drove in the first 2 runs today. And they're sitting right in that spot in the order for a reason, because I know what I'm going to get in terms of those at-bats.
We have time for one more question for Jay. Matt's hands up.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about the catch with Josh, because we saw it the other night with Trey. Like, those are game deciders. I mean, when we think about clutchness with pitching and hitting, what do you make of the elite defensive plays you guys have made that have changed games tonight?
Yeah, I think our team is super locked in. I've mentioned this before. Mark Wanaka, who positions our defense, is as good at that as anybody in baseball. Not college baseball, is in baseball. And that's a tough one, and you're chewing on the matchup. Do you bring somebody in for Langford? I mean, he's hitting 390. But I think I'll go with the guy that's pitched here now 6 times. It's just been filling up the zone, and he got the ball down just enough where he couldn't elevate it, and he got it just either in or off the barrel enough. I can't remember at this point. And Josh was standing where he needed to be, broke back, and made a heck of a play. And he's a good defender. I had somebody ask me, it's like, hey, are you going to kind of keep going with him? He's maybe not swung the bat as well as some other guys here, and it's like, it's not even a thought, because I know he's going to walk, he's going to move the offense, and he's going to play great defense in left field, and that was probably the defensive play of the game tonight.
Okay, Jay, thank you.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Gold jerseys tomorrow?
Yes.
We'll see you then.